it's like, oh, I'm experiencing some like vulva dryness, but my estrogen levels were fine. But, and so it's kind of this like mystery thing. And so many of my friends are experiencing, anxiety or sleep issues or changes in their sex drive. And I've also met people going through or recently gone through menopause who have like a higher sex drive than ever, which is kind of cool and interesting. But yeah, like what does it take in your opinion? What does it take to feel good in your body as it's changing and still have a great sex life?
Well, I think it's a couple of things, but I just want to, for 1 second, go back to one thing you said that is something that I think we need to demystify, that you said my estrogen levels are fine.
This is the Ask a Sex Therapist podcast, helping you change the way you look at sex. I'm Heather Shannon, and in a world full of sexual censorship, I'll give you the raw truth about pleasure, intimacy in your relationships, and enjoying your body, because it's time for you to ask a sex therapist.
Hello, my friends. We're here with an amazing guest episode today. We're going to be talking about sex and aging and how to support your partner during menopause and keep things fun and exciting and sexy. So to help us do that, we have Karen Bigman here. She is a sex and relationship coach for people in midlife and also a certified menopause coach. So welcome, Karen.
Thank you for having me. Great to be here.
Yeah, I'm excited. But yeah, you were just saying before we hit record that like you're just so excited to do this work. So I'd love to hear more about why. What's so exciting about this work for you?
It was actually as I was approaching my 60th birthday that I began this work. And when I start to really dig deep and go further with it, I realized that the journey actually started 10 years ago when I got divorced, and I was out there dating and having more sex than I'd had in a really long time.
That's exciting.
But I was having the orgasm challenge and that I wasn't having orgasms. And that really was a bummer. And so I felt like the universe was punishing me. And fast forward, I ended up, it really was. It was like, seriously, like no sex for years. And now I finally get it and I can't even get off on it. So, but I ended up at a sexual medicine practice, and I met this, they partner me with a nurse practitioner who was the medical advisor and a sex therapist. So I would not have imagined myself meeting a sex therapist. I don't even think I knew that they existed. And if I did, I probably thought what a lot of people think sex therapists are back in the day. Mm-hmm. But what was so cool is at the first appointment, they start asking you, all the personal questions about how you have sex and orgasms and could you orgasm before? And then they're like, did you ever use a vibrator? And I like to say I probably turned the same color as my hair, which was not pink back then, but I was like, what, a vibrator? And they gave me a bullet and they said, go in the room next door and try it.
No way.
Swear to God.
Like right then and there.
Right then and there.
Masturbate for us medically.
Exactly. And I don't think it took me 5 minutes, and they were like, oh, that was fast. I'm like, oh my God, my life has just been changed by this vibrator. Yeah. So that was that. And then they found my testosterone levels were low, and testosterone contributes to libido and orgasm. So that combination was the magic bullet, if you will. But I'm bummed. And then, and so I started being able to really talk about it a lot more easily from those experiences and going to see her. And I would tell them all my dating escapades, and it was always a ton of fun. Like, oh, what happened with this guy and what's going on? And it literally was like therapy and sex in the same, in the same office. And so that now I look back and say, well, that was probably planting a seed here that someday I would tell the world about sex, but I just didn't know what that was going to be.
Wow, that's so cool. And then I love your focus on sex after 50, because lots of clients that I've worked with, I think, have this kind of unconscious belief of like, oh, well, we're past our reproductive years, or, oh, we're not trying to have children, or we've, had hysterectomy or something. There's just sort of this kind of subtle unconscious thing hanging out back here that winds up negatively affecting their sex life too, this like belief system. So I'm glad that you're just out there being like, hey, let's have more, better, exciting sex now.
Yeah, and I'm living it. So that's I'm single and dating and having fun. So, and I'm 62. So it's really true. And in fact, research is now showing that women are having the best sex of their lives after menopause. So this myth that society has taught us that we're washed up, let's
Yeah.
get rid of that. Not
I
true.
think I think society's really been changing in the last like 5 to 10 years with women as they're aging, and I'm so excited to see it. Because it's like I'm 45, and we're everyone listening. We're all only getting older, right? You can't go up.
Yes.
So it's like we should hope that things are fantastic as we age, but also I think because I'm in that kind of perimenopause window, it's like, oh, I'm experiencing some like vulva dryness, but my estrogen levels were fine. But and so it's kind of this like mystery thing. And so many of my friends are experiencing, anxiety or sleep issues or changes in their sex drive. And I've also met people going through or recently gone through menopause who have like a higher sex drive than ever, which is kind of cool and interesting. But yeah, like what does it take in your opinion? What does it take to feel good in your body as it's changing and still have a great sex life?
Well, I think it's a couple of things, but I just want to, for 1 second, go back to one thing you said that is something that I think we need to demystify. That you said my estrogen levels are fine.
Right.
The Menopause Society says that you treat symptoms, you don't treat estrogen levels, because
100%.
when you're going through perimenopause, your levels are one morning they'll be perfect, the next day you'll have none. So I just caution on if you feel like crap, talk to your doctor about what can be done about it. Forget about what your levels say.
I got some vaginal estrogen cream anyways because I actually talked to AI. It's not supposed to be your doctor, I know that, but I am obsessed with learning information about the body. And so it said something like your levels can seem normal for years, even though symptoms have started. So I think that's really, really important. And my provider is great. If I ask for something, he knows like what a weird, like obsessive person I am about the research. So he's like, okay, yeah, go ahead, try that. Let me know. Do you have any questions? I'm like, no, thanks.
Yeah, good. I'm glad to hear it. And what I love speaking to younger women who are aware of things around menopause. Now, I was fortunate then when I was around your age and I started to have hot flashes. My doctor was, even though this was right around when the WHI study came out and said, "Oh my God, breast cancer." And I asked her recently, like, how were you, ready to give me hormone therapy when nobody was doing it? And she said, because I read the research and I saw that that was not the case.
Yes.
But I did have heart palpitations before that for a while, went for a full heart workup, and it was definitely menopause. Nobody ever said to me it could be menopause. Yeah. So anyway, but back to good sex after later in life.
It's important because I feel like going through this stuff is how you get to the good sex. It's like we can't ignore the body changing. And I know for me, it's kind of like, why is my fucking vulva dry? Like it could be frustrating. We have all the emotions around it. And then you're like trying to put the pieces together. And even though there's more information now, and I know like Dr. Kelly Casperson was doing some amazing like advocating with the FDA for women and testosterone. And I think you mentioned yours had been low. So we all have just different things going on hormonally. But then I think that helps support us feeling like, oh, now I'm in the mood and my body's doing what I want it to do. And okay, now we're firing on all cylinders,
Right. And it's not just helping with your libido and your dryness. It also helps have better orgasms and reduce urinary tract infections and helps your skin. I mean,
Wait, say more about the orgasm one. I didn't know that. So the vaginal estrogen cream actually helps your orgasm, even though, I guess maybe because it's a local.
Yeah, I mean, you're not using it while you're having sex, but you're using it intermittently in between, and it keeps the tissue healthy. But it increases blood flow to the area, and so not only are you having more, but you have better orgasms when you're on hormone therapy.
I have to go pick up my prescription.
Yeah, and have them throw in a touch. You don't need a ton of testosterone, just a little bit.
I think my testosterone is actually in the high end of normal, so I think I'm.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. But so I think the thing I saw was that like estrogen cream has become like a first line therapy for UTIs. And I was like, this makes so much sense. I think that we keep trying to treat stuff with antibiotics that like fucks up our whole microbiome, and I'm like, please just not do that anymore. So I love that there's alternatives, and I'm excited to just like, let's everyone listening take notes.
Yes. What is Dr. Rachel Rubin, another one of Kelly's peers, says, I would be giving vaginal estrogen to my 85-year-old grandmother. Like everyone should be on it forever, because it's now that they've taken the big news in the past couple of months was that they've removed some of the warnings that were scaring people away. So it's been proven not to, and I am not a medical provider, disclaimer, I'm not licensed, but as
facts of what doctors are saying.
There is no link between topical vaginal estrogen and breast cancer. And many studies are proving it now. So you can look up the research.
Yeah, it's like we just don't have to suffer as much. You know, I think that's like part of embracing pleasure.
Yes.
Like, what if we just let ourselves suffer less? You know?
That's the truth around sex in general, right? Like we're not meant to, like we're supposed to suffer. Like that is our crudo. What's the word I'm looking for? Our motto. Whatever.
Yes, whatever.
Y'all know what you lose words.
That's fine.
That you know, suffering, and we're just supposed to suffer, and it goes right into the bedroom where, I mean, to this day, like I'm so conditioned that if it's taking too long, it's taking too long. Then you know, like let me just break out my vibrator, make it go quickly, because I don't want you to have to like stay down there for that long or whatever it is. You know, like I have to hurry up and get it done because I'm inconveniencing somebody. So it's getting past that.
It makes me so angry, like how we've been conditioned as women. I also wonder if like estrogen just makes us like very sweet or something. I don't know like how much is biological, how much is conditioning, but yeah, it's like let's just let other people speak for themselves. And I think my journey is an empath. I don't know if you're like kind of an empathy sensitive person. I feel like almost all the people I talk to are.
In this world, I mean, you got to be, right? Because if you're not, then you don't want to be helping people. So
maybe that's true. But yeah, it's like we all have to kind of work on the boundaries, you know? And it's not that we don't care about other people when we have boundaries. It's just like, you can't go down with the ship, you know? You got to like take care of yourself first.
Yeah.
Put on your own oxygen mask.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And your orgasm's your responsibility. So you have to learn that too. So.
That's a really good point, you know, and also it's like you have to trust your partner. I think we have to trust each other with saying no. You know, like we have to trust our partner will say no or say that they're tired if it's actually been too long for them.
Yes, and I think back to your original question was how do we, you know, why and how do we have better sex? And I think it's a combination of things. I think there's some actual neurological changes. If there's an amazing researcher, Dr. Lisa Mosconi, she wrote the book The Menopause Brain, and she's done all sorts of research. And one of the things that happens to women after menopause is we have more of the I don't give a fuck gene. So I don't know if that's the right.
Very into that gene.
Yeah. So we have less of a negativity bias and more of a positivity bias. So we really don't care as much. I think that's part of it. I think. And this one's a tough one, but I think resigning yourself to the fact that your body is going to change and that is just what it is. And no matter how many times the diet fads tell you you're going to lose the belly fat and, you know, whatever it is, it's just what it is. It's just, I've been the same weight for years and my body, my clothes don't fit the same way. Like it's just going to happen to you. Mm-hmm. And you got to just say like, do I want to forego pleasure because of something? And, oh, by the way, and this is as someone who's been single on and off for the last 12 years, guys don't give a shit. They are so happy. I mean, in a heterosexual situation, they're so happy to be lying with a naked woman who's willing and wanting to have sex with them. That I don't see your roles. I don't see anything. I don't see the dry vagina. I just see a vulva. I see a vagina.
And I feel like we have to just like embrace our own beauty, you know? And I think we sometimes have that experience when we look at pictures of ourselves when we were younger and we're like, oh my God, I was like so gorgeous. And then I'm like, but I didn't feel gorgeous. You know, I was always thinking about what could be improved. And then you're like, oh wait, that still applies to me now. You know, me in 5 or 10 years is going to be like, I was so gorgeous then and I was still worrying about it.
Yes. I love that, you know, we learn in coaching and I'm sure you learn in therapy too, that like, would you say what you say yourself to your best friend and practicing self-compassion and how important it is. And it's like, it sounds like all this like buzzwords and stuff like that, but it is so true. And I do. And I have my own, you know, body image issues. I've had a dad who told me I had a pot belly at those critical years when I was like 13. And so I got a pot belly 50 years later. It's still a pot belly, regardless what it looks like. But it's just saying, okay, like, who would you say that to your best friend, who's also, by the way, named Karen? Like, no way.
No, you're right. And I think for me, it actually really helps to see the beauty in other people and then realize like, oh, that applies to me too. So sometimes I think we start from the inside out, and sometimes I think we start from the outside in. And for this area, it's helpful for me to go from the outside in.
That's great. That's good. Because that's whatever it takes. It's to also see that the world around you is not judging you by your pot belly or whatever it is that you have that you don't like.
And I think men also are like so much less judgmental, like you're saying. And I'm like, men think that like probably half of women out there are stunning, you know? And it's like, I think I grew up being like, I have to be like the best or the thinnest or the whatever to like be good enough. And it's like, wow, what a terrible perspective that was. It's not serving me.
And I think some guys like think I'm too skinny. Like they think you're too skinny. They don't even want you. You think you're not skinny enough, but they think you're too skinny. I had a guy. Oh my God, I didn't realize what an insult it was till after it happened. But I was at this local event here. They have like a bunch of men with their cars on the, they bring their fancy cars in the parking lot around the corner. And I went just to see it. And some guy looks at me and he goes, do you need to run around in the shower to get wet? And I'm like, what is he talking about?
What?
He's saying like you're so skinny that you have like you don't hit the shower head. And I was like, that was like offensive. I've never had anyone say that, but
strange insult. Yeah.
It was a little bizarre, but it was also telling that like I still can't get rid of those images that I was taught, or those thoughts that I was taught by my dad. And now I'm like, this is quite the opposite. That was offensive, but this is quite the opposite.
Oh my God. And also, anyway. Like, I don't know, let's just quit commenting on people's bodies and
yes.
telling them how
Thank you.
Men and women, regardless of gender. Just,
Yep.
Just say like, hey, you look lovely. Great. Yep. Otherwise, with it.
Yeah, exactly. And we, as women particularly, have to say thank you. Not like, oh no, I must be, it's because of the new shirt I'm wearing, or I've been sick and I didn't eat for 2 weeks. Oh my God. No, thank you.
Yeah. I agree. I think there is an element of like, just act as if, but also for me, like my sex drive feels so related to like how I'm feeling in my skin. And I'm curious if that's something you see, in your work with midlife people.
I mean, definitely. When we feel good about ourselves, we have the ability to feel good and we want to feel good. But I also think it's being, and when we feel good about ourselves, we attract people who feel good about themselves and make us feel good. Or maybe they don't need to make us, but we don't need to be made to feel good, because we are around people that are lifting us up. And that has been one of the things that I have really, really learned in the last 5 years, particularly, is to let go of not just like what's not serving me in my head, but the people that don't serve me. And that's not just in male-female relationships, but friendships that don't serve me, that bring me down, family members that do that. All that is part of getting to a point in my life where I'm like, this is the next part. This is, what is someone I just heard say yesterday? I've lived more than I'm going to live. And so this is the part of my life where I don't need to live with people who are just not giving me anything. I don't enjoy their company. They don't teach me anything. They're not fun.
Right.
Like it's not worth it.
Yeah. That kind of goes back to the less fucks given after menopause. Love that.
Yes, definitely. More fucks, but less fucks given.
I feel like that needs to be made into some kind of t-shirt, Karen.
Yes, that's a good idea.
Oh my God. What are some of the most common struggles you see in people over 50 who are working on their sex life?
I think they give up on sex. I think it's I don't want it anymore for whatever reason. I don't feel it. It hurts. I don't need it. Mm-hmm. It definitely, we talked about body image. It's also the prioritizing of it. It's just not something I don't need it, and it's not that important to me anymore.
Yeah, I mean, what are some of the common obstacles? But I guess I'm wondering like how much are they different as we age, and how much are they kind of the same as we might see with someone younger?
I think some are the same. I think there's shame is the other one. That's a big one. And I see that in men and in women. So women, we know we've been shamed forever, right? But for men, there's struggles with erectile dysfunction. There's even, I'm starting to see a little body image shame with guys too, which I'd never seen before.
I for sure see that. Yes.
Yeah. I got to lose those 3 pounds. Like, seriously?
Right. Or I'm
You
bald.
don't need to lose them.
I have boobs, or I have a belly. Yeah. Whatever. I don't have enough muscles. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And or if they have any kind of sexual functional issue, it gets in their head, and then they're afraid to do it. I've had partners with, I think, religious shame, like shame, difficulty ejaculating, where they're into sex, they get into bed, and then they get in their head much more as they age. And I don't know, it's hard for me to say because of the work I do. I think they get intimidated. And it's like, I'm just a human like anybody else, and I have my own struggles, but I think there might be some of that going on with some of the people I've dated. But I also I think there's a couple of guys I've dated that there's definitely the religious shame part that's really, especially those that are divorced, that come from Catholic backgrounds, that are divorced, and now they're having sex with other people. I think there's a lot of that they have to work with.
Yeah, I've also received the comments as a single lady working in this field of like, oh, that's intimidating. Like the one guy I dated when I first moved here, like they'll just say that's intimidating. He's like, well, I went home and I thought about it, and I decided it's probably a good thing, but it was a little scary at first. I'm like, okay.
I have these guys, like they ask me what I do, and when I sort of hesitant, and then I tell them, and they're like, oh, and they want to know everything, and then they go home and they listen to every episode of the podcast.
Oh my God, that happened to me too.
I tell them, don't do that. If you want to get to know me, and then I'll tell you which episodes make sense for you. But I have it's so interesting. I had one guy who I'm sure he wouldn't have ever asked any other person this. He was small. He was like short. He was probably my height. But he was very nicely endowed. We had a nice intimate experience. Mm-hmm. And then he sends me a text the next day and says, like, am I big enough? And I'm like, seriously? Like, you're asking me, like, of all the people in the world, like, I would never, ever judge you based on that.
Right. It's like almost the opposite of like what people stereotype us as.
Yeah. So
we're more open-minded, and it's like we're, like you said, we're still human. It's like we have the same vulnerabilities and insecurities as everyone else. We just maybe know a little bit better how to deal with them.
Right. And we want to talk about them. We don't want to push them down and hide them. And I think that is this resignation to the fact that we just don't need sex. We don't need pleasure. It's not that important. Sex is good for your health. So let's just say it's like, it's a medical necessity. We must have it because it'll help us be healthier people.
Biological imperative. Keep going out there, everybody.
Exactly.
If you are digging this episode, give us a follow on whatever platform you're listening on. This helps us to keep producing the show, to grow the show, get all the amazing guests that you want, and spread the word about sex education and lots of fun and orgasms and playfulness and happy faces. So follow the show. Thanks, guys. I mean, I think about like when I am, 70 or 80, am I going to want sex? Like, do you find that like the libidos that people have are the same, or do you feel like there's more things just like hitting the brakes with libidos, with the clients you work with or the people you're meeting?
I think it changes. I mean, without question, you're not going to have the spontaneous jump in bed sex that you had when you were younger. I think there's more interest in connection. I think for people in long-term relationships, and you probably see this a lot in your practice too, it's a different, there's different ways of approaching it. I mean, we still, I speak as in my early 60s, and I hope that I will still feel this way as I age. But when I meet somebody, I still get that new relationship energy, and I still like want to have sex all the time. It's like, I still got that, but can I can turn off very, very quickly because things will not feel good. And so you have to have more communication with your partner around what feels good. I mean, I bring vibrators come in the bedroom with me. That's just a fact of life. And no matter how many guys tell me they're going to be the one that will eliminate my need for a vibrator because they're such good lovers, because it's an indictment of their ability to be a good lover. There are vibrators and some other fun stuff when it's appropriate and consented to. But it's more because of this whole attitude, like, what have I got to lose? As long as everybody's feeling good. And on the other side of it, I will not tolerate something that isn't pleasurable, or like I have friends that still believe in, I call it husband sex, but obligatory sex for their partner. Oh, he takes out the garbage, so I let him, do whatever he wants. Like, I will not. That's something
bad news.
Let's
if
figure this out.
You're not a terrible person, but you are kind of programming yourself to have negative associations with sex and to deprioritize your pleasure.
That's right. Yeah.
So let's not do that, please. I would also think it seems like, interestingly enough, the youngest generation, like Gen Z, is having the least sex, I think. But they seem very, very open-minded and able to communicate about sex. And so I'm curious, like, dating in your 60s, how has that been communicating about it? And in my mind, I would think there would be so many men that would be so excited that you're just like open and comfortable with your sexuality. But like, what is the reaction?
I think they're excited until they start to get intimidated, because I think they do face challenges. And I think they're just their testosterone is starting to dip, and they're starting to have, whatever physical issues and on cholesterol medication. I mean, within the first 20 minutes of every date, we talk about what medicines, what joints have been replaced, what we've had to give up. I mean, it's hysterical. This has been going on for it's just what it is. We are all aging, and it kind of bonds you. But at the same time, I think if they didn't have issues because maybe they were in long-term marriages or whatever, like, they start to surface at this point.
That's true. And I think what you're saying that's making so much sense to me is like the emotional intimacy and the communication just becomes that much more important. And, and also I'm hearing we need to be secure enough in ourselves to have those conversations and to show our imperfections.
Exactly. And a good relationship will have that. Like, that it won't be uncomfortable. Yes, it will be uncomfortable in the beginning. It is never easy. It used to be hard for me to say, I'm on hormone therapy. I have an estrogen patch on my stomach. I'm like, you're going to find a Band-Aid down there, a sticker down there. Now I forget to tell guys about it, because they're like, what is this? I'm like, okay, no, I didn't forget to take off my Band-Aid. It's like actually my estrogen delivery. So it's really being able to know that, like, to have a great relationship, to have connected sex that will lead to a better relationship, even if you're just having a one-night stand, being able to just lose the shame and just say, like, this is how I do it. This is what I like to do. And what do you like? And just also, like, to ask. I mean, I like to say that one of the sexiest things to me is when a guy says, can I kiss you? Even if it's just a kiss.
I love that too.
Right?
Yeah, the last guy I dated did. At first, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to see this guy again. And then he asked to kiss me when we were in the parking lot. And I was like, I love that he asked. And then the kiss was good. And then I was processing because I hadn't been planning to see him again. But then the kiss was so good. And so my face probably stuff sort of. And then he was like, are you okay? And I was like, oh my God, now you're checking on me? That's so cute. So, yeah, it's like the little things.
I do. You inspire me, though, to say, for any of you men who are out there dating again in midlife, take a kissing class, because guys don't know how to kiss. And kissing is like, if you're a good kisser.
Start a kissing class? I've never heard of a kissing class.
Yeah, let's do it. Because, oh my God,
sounds
the
so
pecks
fun.
and the fish and the like sticking their tongue down your throat. And it's just like, no.
Yes.
And if you get good kissing, man, like, that's just the beginning of
I've never heard of a kissing coach, and now I really want to see if there are any.
Okay, well, let's do it.
Karen and I are going to investigate this, and we'll get back to you all.
And if not, I'm going to do an episode, five techniques for better kissing.
Oh my God. I love kissing, and I have strong feelings about it too. And it's something that's come up with my clients when I work with couples, where like sometimes they've been together for like 10, 15 plus years. And they're kind of like, we just don't like kiss the same. We don't really. And I'm like, okay, let's do. And I think I am going to actually develop like a kissing lab. Not we're going to go kiss a bunch of randos, but like where you try different kinds of kisses and like give each other feedback on how those are going,
And hold them, as John Gottman, the famous relationship psychotherapist, will say, hold them for at least 6 seconds.
Oh yeah.
Because that's when the hormones start to
Yeah,
release.
well, yeah, that's true. Yeah, so I think people just need to like try. I think I need to like describe the different types of kisses.
There you go.
People try them and like take notes and share with each other, like a little science experiment of kissing.
And it will be fun. Like you'll be laughing, which makes it all that much better too. I was just listening to Oprah interviewed Scott Galloway. Do you know who he is?
Is he like an actor? He sounds familiar.
No, he's a professor and a researcher, and he's written and studied men and boys.
I love him.
So he was saying, and someone, they were asking questions in the audience, and it was something like, how do you start a relationship with a woman? Something like, ha 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 ha, let's get naked. Like when you make a woman laugh, it's a good way to get her into bed.
Yes. Okay. And I had Emily Nagoski on here not that long ago, and she was talking about her emotional floor plans and how instead of going straight for like the lust sex vibes, you go to the adjacent rooms on your floor plan, and one of them is like laughter and play.
Yes.
I'm probably getting them wrong officially. Please go read her actual book. But yeah. It was like curiosity and play and fun, and I've been seeing that so much with the couples I work with too, is like when they go out and go to a concert and they laugh and they're being playful with each other. It's like, is it an accident they wind up having great sex that night? I don't think so, folks.
Yep. That's part of the foreplay, right?
I know. I'm like very big on mental foreplay. That's like the hill I'm going to die on, I think.
Yes. I think it's critical. I think it's the real foreplay actually for me.
Yeah. Okay. Let's give some kissing tips though, since we got on that. So what are the tips that you would give, especially to those, middle-aged guys who are like, what do you mean I'm not a great kisser? Of course I'm fantastic. How do we like?
Okay. All right. So I kind of alluded them in sort of a judgmental way before. I apologize, but okay. Let's start with the lips. Like lips are one of the most sensitive, if not the most sensitive part of your body. Yeah. So just like even just holding your lips close to a person without touching and just breathing on each other, that is really fucking hot.
I agree. So
I'd start there. And then holding your lips on each other without moving your mouth. Don't fish.
If you're watching the video, Karen's doing a very fun.
Stay put. It's like think of a Hollywood kiss. They don't fish kiss. They actually like stay on each other's lips.
That's true. Yeah.
Then I would. The tongue is not meant to go down your throat. The tongue is another thing that can be very titillating. You can take your tongue, lick the person's lips, around the person's lips.
Yeah.
You can circle your tongues around each other. Mm-hmm. Hit the tips of the tongues, just with each other. Mm-hmm. You can let go of the lips and then gently kiss their face, their eyes, and just then keep coming back.
Yeah.
All right,
lots of options.
Here, I think you and I are jumping into bed together in a minute.
I mean, none of them are ramming your tongue down someone else's throat. Although I will say, I feel like there's a time and a place for that, but it's not at the beginning.
No, I agree.
Yeah. It's like after things get so intense and if the person you're kissing is like grabbing onto you and pulling you closer and can't get enough.
Right.
Then
sometimes that's all you want to do is shove everything inside everybody, inside every part. But you also, and I will say the other thing, and it kind of goes back to the asking, is listening. I dated someone for a while, for 5 years. And in the beginning, I really liked him, but he was not a good kisser. And I'm like, okay, is this fixable? And it was.
Oh my gosh.
Because I stayed with him for 5 years. We learned to kiss really well.
Wow. Now,
and how do you a really great lover?
Because I think we've got the people, and we shouldn't act like all women are fantastic kissers either. We know that that's not the case. But we've got the people who maybe want to work on their kissing, but then we also have the people who are like not thrilled with their partner's kissing. How do you say that nicely? It sounds like you've actually done that well. So how?
Well, so I was already, we were just in the beginning of the dating. I think if you've been in a long-term relationship, it gets a little harder, but you might just look at a video and say, let's try this and see what it would feel like. Look how they kissed. And, and I mean, I do say Hollywood kisses look really good. Now they're like their whole idea of sexual experiences is ridiculous. But we all have, jump into bed, we're wet, and we have simultaneous orgasms. I don't know about you, but I don't think I've ever had a simultaneous orgasm with my partner.
No, I don't care that much. Honestly, I'm fine without it. Like if it happens, great. But
it's pretty hard to do. But so I would say, or maybe maybe part of what's making you not want sex is that you're so afraid of getting naked and heading into the intercourse. And maybe if you just have like, let's just kiss tonight. Let's keep our clothes on.
Love that. Takes so much pressure off.
Yep. And you're not allowed to take my clothes off.
Okay. There you go. Setting some parameters. And then you could also do the kissing as an experiment and just be like, let's try some things and see what we like.
Yeah.
You could say, I was listening to this podcast and they were talking about this.
That's right.
Put it on me and Karen.
Exactly. And now that I think about it, you really do kiss like a fish.
Don't say that to the person, but
no.
Get them to try some other ways of kissing. That might be a good way to go about it. I'm always a big fan of like finding something neutral, like a neutral resource. Like, oh, here's this article. Oh, here's this Instagram reel. Oh, here's this podcast.
Exactly.
And then it's not personal, and then people don't take it personally. They're just like, oh, how interesting. Yes, let's try this thing.
Exactly. I agree 100%. And I love it when I meet, especially when I meet men in midlife who are in long-term relationships. And naturally, when I tell them what I do, they tell me what their challenges are. Their partner doesn't want sex anymore. And I'm just like, well, have you asked her? Have you talked to her about it? Have you, said anything? And they're like, well, no. I'm like, okay, well, how about just even the fact that you have interest in a conversation about it? Yeah, might turn her on a little bit.
Yeah, so that's important too. And I have found that my clients that are on the older side of the spectrum have a harder time talking about it. And I do think some of that is just how they were raised, right? So like Absolutely. How do you overcome kind of that cultural thing of like, we don't talk about uncomfortable stuff?
It's hard. I will say that with my ex-boyfriend, one of the best we used to do our debriefs, if you will, our post-coital debriefs in the car. So you're not facing each other.
Interesting.
Yeah. So we just somehow it would always come up. Like, remember last night when we did blah, 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 or this morning, or, and so like, you're not facing them. And once you've done it and you start doing it and talking more, it becomes easier. But I will say every time I have a new partner and I don't have multiple partners at the same time, every time I'm in a new relationship, like it's still uncomfortable for me too, to start these conversations, unless I'm with somebody who's super open as well.
Yeah.
It's hard. And it's something that
is hard.
But it's like the first conversation is the hardest one.
Mm-hmm.
And once you have that one, and then the next one becomes a little bit easier. And don't try to take on, the Russian Empire or the Roman Empire rather in the first conversation. Just I call them try something small. I have something I call sex snacks. So try a snack. Try a snack. Just give her a little kiss. Give him a hug when it's not expected. Just, buy flowers, bring a new toy and just kind of slip it into the bedroom. Something small that won't overwhelm the person, because that's when people are going to push back right away.
Yeah, I think you're right. Like it's more important that it be a positive experience than it being a comprehensive experience.
Exactly. And I also really love, I mentioned to you earlier, there's a platform called Arya, ARYA.FYI, and I have a 15% off coupon. I'll give it to you for your audience. And it's a great platform because you both get to put in the things that you like without the other one seeing it. And then they curate a program for you. And it's a combination of activities that you can reading, and they'll send you a box with toys and different things that you can do for the month. So it's like a subscription service. And my clients have great success with it. Everybody loves it.
That's so cool.
The most purchased of all the products that I endorse. Yeah.
Okay. I love that. It's good for people to hear that. And I think it's also important for people to just, try new things. I think it's easy, especially I think as we get older, it's like, I've tried this, I've tried that. Right. Like, there's part of me that feels like that. Like, when I was in my 30s, I experimented with some stuff. Now I'm just going to be boring, Like, we can't let ourselves do that.
No, and women like novelty. The reason we get bored, men are visual for the most part. They see something that turns them on and they can get hard and get in the mood. We need more than that. And novelty is a great way to get us excited. And we might be kind of ew in the beginning, but then we'll be like, ooh, ah.
Right. So you can try things and stop at any point, and not everything you try is going to be for you. But
Right.
I do think keeping an open mind, and I have ADHD, so I get bored real easily. And then I work with a ton of people who are neurodivergent. So I think also you're right with the guys being visual, but I also think the ADHD guys need a little more variety as well.
I think we all have it right now with the technology that we can't, like some level of it.
Yeah, we all have I just read part of Dopamine Nation and watched some videos on it. And it's like, yeah, we all are like addicted to our cell phones, and
yeah,
it's a problem, y'all.
Yes, it is. Try to have sex without the phone in the room.
And I think that's where porn can be an issue too. Like, I'm not anti-porn at all, but like for some people, if it feels like this is my dopamine fix, and then it's hard to replicate that with your real sex life, tone it down a little bit, see how that changes things.
And I go back to less is more.
Yes. That's like the theme of my life right now. Doing less things. We're saying no to more things. We're not meant to take in as much information as we take in.
Yes. And that goes with the number of times you have sex too. There's no right number of times to have sex. Like, how many times should we be having? I think that what are the numbers, and you probably know them better than me as a therapist, but it's like 6 times a year is considered like no sex or something like that, or less than 6 times a year.
Less than once a month is considered a sexless marriage, and then once a week is considered like kind of, you on average, this is very much not for every couple. On average, that's where you kind of like max out your like relationship satisfaction. But there's definitely people that are not maxed out at once a week,
Yeah, and of course, in like any relationship, as I was saying before, like in the beginning, you want much more. But there's also like if you only get to have it once a month, maybe that's the best thing that the two of you can like look forward to.
Totally. Yes, and I've even had young couples where like every other week is great for them, because they're kind of like, our relationship is first and foremost a partnership and companionship, and the sex is just like this lovely cherry on top. So like when it works out for us, great, and it's more about the quality of the sex. Yeah.
And how you define it. What is Esther Perel says, sex starts at the end of the last orgasm. Like, consider everything building up to it. Foreplay.
Yes.
Regardless of whether you're naked, like just everything, every interaction, because you show up as a sexual being. We are looking into the world to attract people, whether it's sexually or just in relationships. So we're always having sex.
Mm-hmm. Part of what I love about this work is like, all the things we do to make our sex life better just make our life better.
Yes.
It's like taking care of your body. Guess what? That's good for you anyways. Becoming a better communicator. Guess what? That's going to help you at work also.
Yes. Agreed.
Okay. So if people are like, oh, Karen's so nice and fun and non-judgy, how do I work with her? How do I find out more? How can they connect with you? Where would you send them?
So my podcast is Taboo to Truth, Life and Sex After 50, and it's both video and audio, so YouTube, Apple, et cetera, et cetera. My website is also Taboo to Truth. That's the theme. Anything that's taboototruth.com. You'll find everything. I actually have an adult sex education masterclass. Hotter, Wilder, Wiser.
Okay.
That I'm offering, and I'll be coming out with a new course in January for men to support their partners through menopause. And I have a little download resource, just a very, very light version of it for anyone interested, and for the women too, because you might need to help educate your partner on how to be a good partner for you through this time.
But the men, I feel like the men would get a lot of points if they found a resource on their own and were just real supportive. Like, we always want ways to earn points. And then the Taboo to Truth is spelled TABOO, normal way of taboo, and then it's TO. I just want to specify that.
Yes, thank you.
Different ways to spell too. But we'll link to it. We'll link to it in the show notes on both YouTube and the audio platforms. This has been such a delight. Thank you for coming on the show, Karen. and discussing, just what makes sex fun and hot, especially as we're aging. I think that, let's normalize that,
Thank you. And it's such an important conversation. All the conversations you and I are having are so important. So thank you for
Yeah,
having me and for continuing
absolutely.
to spread the gospel.
That's right. Thank you, everybody, for listening to this episode. And we will catch you next Monday in another episode of Ask a Sex Therapist. Bye for now.
Feeling guilty or frustrated in your sex life instead of having fun? If so, I have created a free quiz for you that's going to get you some answers. Visit thebetterbedroom.com and find out which one of 5 common relationship patterns you're falling into that is sabotaging your sex life. Again, that's thebetterbedroom.com, and I will get you pointed in the right direction.